How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Here we are. I'm sitting out here, and God, I gotta say, the weather has been pristine the last few days. It's actually nice to be out here, and I'm not just like wicking away sweat on my brow. It's just been beautiful here in Pittsburgh, so hopefully it sticks out that way because we're already into August. I mean, August is generally the warmest month here, and then we head into fall, which is always very exciting. But you guys, I'm not a weatherman. You guys want to hear about the training. That's why you clicked on it. So before we get into that, make sure you give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I would very much appreciate that. If you guys have been following this series, or maybe if you haven't, I'll still reiterate. About 2 Sundays ago, I was running single track. I was having a really good block of training. I was starting to get into it. Volume's been climbing. Was going to hit like 70 miles. No, that week it would have been like 60 something. I rolled my ankle on a route really bad. And at the time I didn't think it was that bad, but I definitely like kind of stopped, caught my breath, and I'm like, that wasn't good. You know, it's kind of like when you're driving a car on the highway and then you hit a pothole and you're just like, ooh. That it was kind of like that. But I kept going. It didn't bother me until like a couple days later, and I'm like, oh, I feel that a little bit, but it wasn't enough to deter me from running. And then later in the following week, it got to the point where I was going to do 70 miles that week. I was ready to roll. And then Saturday or Friday hit or whatever, and I'm like, dude, this is a problem. That brings us into this past week. So, yeah, as you can imagine, Monday rolled around, and I wasn't very motivated. I've ran into this roadblock countless times before. Some sort of injury pops up. I'm really good at the whole running thing. Like, I can get myself into the habit of doing it, and it just becomes a part of my day-to-day life. So, I can shut off my brain. I'm like, oh, I got to do 15 today. Just do it. But the moment I lose that ability, even though I've been super motivated, I'm in great shape, things are looking up, and I just get a little injury that knocks me out, I'm probably just going to literally fall off a cliff. So that's kind of how the week initially started. I didn't, have any plans of doing anything. I didn't have plans of anything at all. I was just kind of like walking in fog, but went out for like a walk with my friends that day. I didn't really do anything notable. You're probably thinking, why would you go on a walk when you can't run because your Achilles is bothering you? Here's the thing. I don't socialize very often. So I figured, let's just get a nice little walk in with friends. It was nice. And I had no pain, which led me to believe that this was just going to be a thing that passes after a couple days. I genuinely believed that. And that's why it's so unfortunate sitting here now over a week later and it's still here as far as I'm aware. So I must have nicked it really good. Tuesday rolls around and it did not start off too hot either. In fact, I went to bed at my normal hour and I woke up to the power going out at around like 2 or 3 a.m. And it wasn't just like a little power outage. It was like a blackout, like pretty far out, like miles around. Eventually came back on, fortunately, a couple hours later. But I remember I just laid on my Shakti mat because I wasn't going to bed. It was like super hot and humid. The weather had been really shit the first half of this week. If I don't have a fan or something blowing in my face during that sort of weather, you can kiss the sleep goodbye. When I did wake up, I just went about my normal day. I had work. And at work I was feeling a little bit motivated, so I got on the pull-up bar and did 70, back and forth, 5 reps at a time, pull-ups, chin-ups, and just, 70 for me, it's a pretty respectable number. I think I can do, well, I know I can do more, but being that I've been slacking a lot on the upper body stuff, I've been having like a lot of neck and like back and shoulder issues recently that I'm trying to work through right now, so I don't know what's better to like maybe focus on strengthening those areas or maybe just like easing off, even though I already ease off of them pretty frequently anyway. I don't know. It's just, I don't really know how to approach it. And then I came home, and this is sort of when the week took a turn. It was late, it was like the evening, and I was not motivated at all. I just wanted to kind of chill out, hang out, go about my whatever I do. And I'm just like, all right, we're going to get on the bike. And I did. And I had no plans of going a certain distance. I just hopped on my little cruiser. Shout out to Pro Bike and Run for giving me that bike all those months ago. And I just started taking advantage of it. I went out for, initially I was like maybe 8 miles, and then it turned into 16. So Was out there for a good hour and some change and just enjoyed myself quite a bit. 11.75 miles. I think it's time to head home. This is too chaotic for me. And honestly, I don't really have anything notable to say about most of these rides, so I'll keep it pretty compact here. Wednesday, I went out for 18 miles on the bike. On Thursday, I went out for a 21-mile ride. And at this point, like, anything above, like, let's be honest, for me, if I'm riding over 8 miles, I'm not used to that. I used to, like, earlier in the year when I had, like, difficulty with illness, and funny enough, the same Achilles, I started riding the bike a little bit. I would just do, like, 8-mile rides. Now that I'm, like, doubling that, tripling that, it's kind of not hard on my body, but it's kind of scary for me. You know, those are big boy numbers for me. At this point, I'm starting to realize I'm kind of liking this routine. Get up in the morning, go out, and just kind of joyride. You can see a lot more because you're going a lot further than you would on foot. The only issue really is just my ass is raw from the seat. My hip flexors are really sore. I guess that makes sense from the spinning. And just other things that I'm not normally, like, feeling sore there. Like, I guess my hamstrings are always sore, but you know, it's a different sort of soreness. You're just working different muscles when you're riding a bike than you would be if you were running, right? All right, guys, we are at 11 miles right now, and this is kind of cool. I have never been this far on the trail before. This is all just uncharted for me, but I'm glad to see there's some people out here, which makes me feel less weirded out. We're at 52 minutes, so I don't want to be out here all day. In fact, I think it's best that we just turn around and go home now, but definitely want to keep exploring that way in the future. So maybe this week. Just got back. I didn't even realize my watch was about to die. I think that was my longest bike ride ever. 21 miles. I think I've done 20 once, but I really don't have any recollection of going any further than that. So big dubs. Friday again, back out there. 13 miles, my easy day, because I don't know how to structure bike training or cross training. I just kind of do it by feel, and each time I've been out there, it's been an hour, 2 hours, more. It's just been a lot, and I'm getting a good workout. I'm spinning, breathing sort of heavy, especially on the uphills, but I'm also just like taking it all in. I'm getting a workout though, which is that's all that matters to me. I typically on Fridays when I run, that's like my low volume day, so I don't know, that's how I treated my Friday bike ride. Alright, we are at about a half hour right now. Whoa, was not ready for that. Just gonna take a second, then we'll turn around and head home. Just an easier one this morning, a lighter one, 6.25 miles. Yeah, let's get out of here. Let's skedaddle. I'm gonna try and go up that hill right there. It's one of the steepest, most miserable hills that I occasionally run up, and it's very difficult. So I think this is gonna be even harder on a bike. In fact, I don't even know if I can get up it. It's like very steep, and it goes on for a while. All right, here goes nothing. Oh, dear God, we made it. Nothing like a little power hour to start the day. Got 13 miles in about 61 minutes, so nice, easy day. I mean, I don't really know what I'm doing on a bike. I don't know what's a good amount of volume to do. I'm just kind of doing it by feel. And also, that hill, at least the first half, I genuinely think it would have been faster if I just walked it. And all I could think to myself was, I have like this obsession of like checking my watch because I'm just curious of seeing like how fast I'm going. My watch would say like 13.1 miles per hour. All I could think to myself was, how the hell did Eliud Kipchoge run that not just once, but twice, back to back, when he broke 2 hours in the marathon? 13.1 miles per hour on a bike, you feel like you're moving. I don't know, though the world just seems like it's passing by pretty damn fast. Saturday was our most drama-filled day, so I had not felt any sort of inclination that there was pain in my Achilles for days up until this point. So I thought to myself, it's got to be over. Let's get out there. We'll just do a short little run. I'm not even going to try and push it. 5 miles. What could go wrong? Also, I want to apologize for the camera, the audio. This is another thing that's been driving me insane, and I don't really remember this being... It's always been an issue with this camera. I've said this a couple times. I run with a DJI Action 2 camera. Bottom's broken because I dropped it, and that's not what's causing the audio issue. I just think this camera's not built for what I'm doing. It just picks up... Literally, if there is the slightest breeze, it's chalked. And when I record... When I choose to put it up in the air and talk into it while I'm moving, I'm very strategic with it. You know, if I hear wind, I will not pull it out. It has to be quiet. But even then, that's not always enough. I lose so much content, just clips, and it. Sometimes I'm saying something like actually important, and I have to just discard it because it's so distracting. And you know, there's a clip here that. It was bad, but it was so important. I feel like I just had to keep it in here. You get what I'm saying. I need to find a camera that can actually withstand the elements. It's great for, like, rain, but this is totally a drag, and it's actually starting to, like, ruin the experience for me because, like, editing is just, like, really frustrating when I put them all into my editing software, and then I start sifting through, and then I realize, man... I'm losing all of this. Alright, here we go. It's Saturday morning. Gonna give the Achilles a little test spin here. Just a short 5-miler. And let's hope for the best. Coming up on 10 minutes. 1.35 miles. I'm gonna stop real quick. I am furious right now. Dude, I felt it ever since, like, 0.25. Haven't felt it a single time since, I don't know, when was the last time I ran? Saturday? God. Dude, it feels worse. It actually feels worse. That is unbelievable. I'm not even in panic mode. Like, I literally just want to break a window. Like, I'm furious. Okay, I'm just gonna jog back. I can't believe this. I rolled my fucking ankle, and this is gonna be an ongoing thing. Unreal, dude. Like, this sport, I hate this sport. I work so freaking hard, and I get nothing in return. This cannot be happening again. Like, I haven't even started training yet. I've been running 50-mile weeks. Actually went 4 miles there, so sort of met myself in the middle. It kind of eased up for 2 or so miles, and I was actually about to go 5 because thought maybe I could, but then it started bothering me again, like clockwork, I suppose. And yeah, that was definitely mostly out of protest going extra, but I'm so mad right now. I can do a literal podcast just wallowing right now. That's all I want to do. You guys just want me to shut up. So we'll get on the bike maybe later today after work. Bike tomorrow, and we'll just keep testing it. And honestly, the bike hasn't been too bad. I've actually been enjoying it. But yes, very, very frustrated. One positive thing I will say, though, is it's getting cooler. For August, and based off of the summer we've had, this is like abnormal. Of course, right as I stop running. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm done. And Sunday rolled around, and funny enough, in the period where I should be feeling the most down, the least motivated, the least driven, I woke up with... I wasn't angry. I didn't wake up like that with that sort of vengeance, but I felt really just motivated to get out there and get rolling and just take this by the balls, you know? Like, screw you, Achilles. I'm gonna do whatever I can, come hell or high water, and if the universe doesn't want it, then I'm still gonna give it a good run for its money. I went out for my longest ride of my entire life.
Alright, it is 7:30 in the morning on Sunday, and I'm about to do something that I've never done before. I'm gonna get back on the bike, obviously. Running did not go well yesterday. But fortunately, I've had a lot of time to think and just rationalize things. So right now, I'm having a banana. I'm not really sure how to prepare for this. I don't really think it's that crazy in the grand scheme of things, especially if you're like a proper biker, but I'm not. I'm going to try to do not only my longest bike ride ever, but I'm going to try to do at least 32 miles. And I say 32 specifically because that will get me to 100 miles biked this week. And I think that'd be kind of cool for me. It's really unfortunate that my Achilles is this banged up. It could clear up today, it could clear up tomorrow, a month from now, I don't know. But I've decided that I'm not going to wallow anymore. In fact, I'm going to work harder than I've ever worked before, not only to get back, but if I have to cross train every day to get to the line of my next race, presumably the Columbus Marathon, then I will. And when that day comes, I will be as prepared as I possibly can be. And I'm going to have a good day. By the way, it is also 55 degrees right now. And I know on a bike that is pretty cold, so I think I'm actually going to switch to a long sleeve. And whenever it heats up, I'll just roll the sleeves up. But I think this will be too cold for me. I'll be kind of miserable. Okay, guys, I've got a helmet on this morning, too. Just in case. I should have been wearing this a long time ago, but here we are. Let me hop on my little saddle here. And are we good? Yeah, watch is good. Oh man, I'm trying to do like 6 things at once. Oh, okay, wait. How do I start my watch? I can't start. We're just at 11 miles right now, about 52 minutes, so I don't think that's very fast for a biker, but that's all right. It's about the experience of being out here in nature, and yeah, we're gonna be out here for a while. Yeah, I just peeled off to take a pee. Had to go so bad. Hadn't seen a biker or a person for miles, at least 5 or 6. And then out of nowhere, a woman sneaks up on me. That was really awkward. So I don't think she knew because I thought fast and I immediately went into like a calf stretch. I don't know, Frodo. If I take one more step, this will be the furthest I've ever been from home. Where the hell am I right now? We are officially at the halfway point, 16 miles. And I am just like lost right now. I have no idea what part of the state I'm in right now. I could have crossed the border. Like, where am I? What town am I in? Before I get rolling here, those lovely ladies told me I'm in Cannonsburg, which I don't really know how far away Cannonsburg is technically from my house, but we're pretty far away. And they were very surprised when I said I was 16 miles away. I didn't think that was that outrageous on a bike. I don't think it is, but I didn't like that. A lot of forks out here. I could have gone like left or right, but we'll explore those in the future. And also, what the heck was up with that tunnel? There was literally a sign right before I saw the tunnel that said, walk your bike. It can be slippery and icy. And then I said, no, I'm going to ride through here because I'm a free spirit. Okay, there you have it. That went very well. 32 miles. I accidentally set my watch to run, so my watch basically just told me like, hey, you've got a serious future in this sport. Little does it know. Hit 100 miles on the bike. Very nice. Definitely warmed up towards the end there, but I think the outfit was exquisite. It was perfect. Also, dude, I'm such an asshole. The whole way back, I wear a helmet one time. Every time I'm passing a biker, I'm just like, do they just not care about their safety? Like, what's going on here? Like, what's the deal? I also learned you have to be very social on the bike. I probably, no shit, said hi and on your left to 100 different people on that trip. And that finished my week out at 100 miles on the bike. I have some biker friends that I see on Strava that are doing consistent like
200, sometimes 300-mile weeks, so I understand this is not that big of a deal, but for me, I really feel like I did a good job with, getting my head back in gear and just doing what I could. And of course, 4 miles run. So, once again, this morning I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not going to try and run just yet. Maybe tomorrow. We'll just go from there. We're going to be all right. Thank you so much for watching. There's a couple other things I forgot to mention about this week. It just felt redundant to mention them for each day, so I'll just say it at the end here. I stretched a lot this week. Not every day, but I've talked about my stretch routine. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour. I did that 4 times this week. And then like a light stretch or 2 on the other days. A lot better with that. My body does feel better because of it. Also just like meditating, getting really consistent with that again. Like I'm talking like sitting on the porch here in the sun, just like with my eyes shut and just breathing for a half hour. And then like in the evening, I'll get on the Shakti mat or just like sit on the dog bed, and it just really soothes me. And I feel lighter afterwards. It's hard to explain if you've never done it before. That's been really good for me. And cold showering every day. Once again, doesn't really get that cold this time of year in the shower, but I try. That's where we're at. Oh, I also forgot to mention, we did a lift on Sunday. It was a nice lift after our big bike ride. And just really a full body thing. It took me like 45 minutes. It was a longer one. Dumbbell bench, dumbbell rows as always. RDLs, walking lunges, goblet squats, diamond push-ups, the whole shebang. We'll have more time to do strength work as well. We definitely need to incorporate that. And of course, just I find it really funny that my right Achilles, that's giving me so much issue on something that honestly probably shouldn't be giving me as much of an issue as it is for that roll. Like it was a bad roll, but I didn't think it was that serious. Maybe it was. I almost wonder if this is a result of the same Achilles injury that I had earlier this year, where I was rolling it on ice just constantly and constantly trying to run outside in like January and February, and that eventually caught up to me. I never took the time to strengthen it. Maybe it healed, but maybe not fully, but either way, I didn't strengthen it. So it wasn't prepared for when it happened again. Just a thought. Anyway, that's pretty much this week. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure, once again, you like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out.